Welcome back to Video Game News Daily, the only essential second screen experience for gamers who need the latest from the industry. To get notified of new episodes, sign up to the mailing list at signup.videogamenewsdaily.com and subscribe to this podcast for game news every weekday. It's Friday, December 5th, 2025. Let's get into it. New 4-player co-op shooter from Left 4 Dead creator coming to PS5 and PC. First up, Sony has teamed up with J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Games to publish a new 4-player co-op shooter directed by Left 4 Dead's Mike Booth. GameSpot reports that the game is an all-new IP coming to PS5 and PC, and will be Bad Robot's first internally developed release. There are no screenshots, trailers, or release window yet, just the pitch and some very big names attached to it. So yes, 2025 is getting yet another co-op shooter, but this one at least has some serious pedigree behind it. Sega says it will leverage AI in game development when appropriate. Sega has officially joined the "We'll use AI, but please don't be mad" club. In a Q&A following its Q2 financial results, executives told investors they'll use AI to improve development efficiency and control ballooning budgets, but will be cautious in creative areas where resistance is high. The company says it wants appropriate use cases rather than fully chasing large-scale AI-driven production. It's another sign that for big publishers, AI is less a hypothetical and more a planned line item in the production pipeline. Roblox blocked in Russia for negatively impacting children. Roblox has been blocked in Russia after regulators claim the platform hosts content that negatively impacts minors, including accusations around extremist material and so-called LGBT propaganda. GameSpot notes that access has been cut at the ISP level, effectively kicking millions of players off the service overnight. Roblox was previously one of the country's most popular mobile games, so this isn't a small regional tweak. It's a full platform shutdown. Total War Medieval 3 announced, described as the ultimate what-if game. Creative Assembly has finally confirmed Total War Medieval 3, pitching it as the ultimate what-if game for armchair alt historians. According to GameSpot, the studio wants to mix strong historical grounding with systems that let players aggressively break history in plausible ways, reshaping empires and outcomes. The game's still early, so no gameplay yet, but the team is promising more regular updates than some of its recent, rockier releases. Strategy fans now have a new long-term obsession lined up, assuming CA can avoid another Total War Pharaoh-style backlash. Metroid Prime 4 has optional music locked behind a $30 paywall. Over on the Nintendo side, Metroid Prime 4 has found a fresh way to annoy people before launch. Optional music tracks tied to a $30 Samus amiibo. GameSpot reports that if you don't buy the figure, sections of the game, like your desert traversal, play out mostly in ambient silence unless you shell out for the physical add-on. Tracks themselves are cosmetic in gameplay terms, but getting audio behind a real-world purchase has gone down about as well as you'd expect. Grasshopper announces Romeo is a Dead Man release date, says it will be self-publishing it. Suda51 and Grasshopper Manufacture have locked in a release date for Romeo is a Dead Man, February 11th, 2026. BGC reports the ultra-violent sci-fi action game will launch on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC at $49.99, with Grasshopper self-publishing rather than relying on an external label. Suda jokes they've won a game of chicken with Grand Theft Auto 6 by landing a release just before Rockstar's Juggernaut. It's a bold move, but at least if you like stylish, weird action games, 2026 is starting strong. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 cast calls for the Game Awards to add a motion capture category. The cast of Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is using the game's breakout success to push for better recognition of motion capture work at the Game Awards. Speaking to VGC, performer Aliona Baranova argues that mocap actors tend to disappear inside the combined performance category, and wants dedicated awards for mocap, voice, and other performance types. The discussion echoes wider industry complaints that heavily physical work is often invisible next to celebrity voice talent. With Claire Obscure now the most nominated game in TGA history, this campaign isn't coming from the sidelines anymore. A Japanese game studio now asks art applicants to draw a picture during their interview to prove they don't use Gen AI. One mid-sized Japanese studio has had enough of AI-generated portfolios and is now making art applicants draw live during interviews. As reported by VGC via local outlet Daily Shinsho, the studio's chief designer says they previously hired people who'd passed off AI work as their own, only to discover they couldn't deliver once on the job. The new process is described as a hassle, and like going backwards, but the designer says other studios are adopting similar safeguards. Ironically, while he's fighting for human artists, he also admits management is increasingly asking whether they need to hire people at all if generative AI is good enough. Amazon Prime's 14 free games for December include LEGO 2K Drive and Deus Ex Mankind Divided. If you still got Amazon Prime, December's game haul is unusually stacked. VGC reports that Prime members can claim 14 PC titles this month through Amazon Luna, including LEGO 2K Drive, Bo Path of the Teal Lotus, Fallout 1 and 2, and Deus Ex Mankind Divided at the end of the month. The key detail? These are redeemable codes on platforms like GOG or GOG, Epic, and Amazon's own launcher, so you keep the games even if you drop Prime later. It's one of those rare subscription offers that doesn't hold your library hostage the second you cancel. Springs Eternal is the first full-sized game from Gone Home co-creator Steve Gaynor. Finally, PC Gamer highlights Springs Eternal, the first full-sized game from Gone Home co-creator Steve Gaynor since the original Fulbright team split off. The game is a lo-fi first-person narrative exploration title set in a mysterious hot springs at night, with late 90s-style visuals and a focus on branching dialogue across a cast of lost souls. It's pitched as a compact 2 to 3 hour experience that revisits the walking sim space with a more supernatural, introspective tone. For anyone who missed the heyday of moody indie narrative games, this one looks like it's aimed squarely at your Steam wishlist. That's all for today. Subscribe to the Video Game News Daily podcast, sign up to the mailing list at signup.videogamenewsdaily.com for all the news sources, and to get notified when a new episode drops. And send this podcast on to a friend if you know they need the news. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.